So Merlin and Vala are going to be separated from...
Merlin and Vala?
Merlin. Yep. This went in a totally weird direction.
Where'd Merlin come from? Welcome to Stargazing, a Stargate gazing podcast. I'm your host, Mary.
And I'm your other host, Kathy.
And each week we review an episode of Stargate alternating between SG1 and Atlantis. Hello.
How are we doing?
Okay, how are you?
Doing okay as well.
Excellent.
How was Vermont?
It was good. I wished that we could have stayed there longer than just a long weekend.
Yeah.
It was pretty and relaxing, and I did not want to come back to go to work.
I hear that.
Surely so. How have things been with you?
Okay. I didn't go anywhere, but I also did not want to come back to work.
Understandable.
So I signed up for the CSA this year, which I've done off and on over the years. But it's definitely all the apples time of year.
Yum.
And so I made an apple crisp. And then I was going to make applesauce, but I cooked it way too long. So it's definitely more of an apple butter.
Also delicious.
And then I cooked a bunch and put seasonings in it. So it's basically like a pie filling if I ever decide to make a pie. So I had a lot of apples. And I don't like eating them plain. So they're all going to be desserty.
Fair.
Yeah. So
I like plain apples, but I also like desserty apples.
I had some pretty good ones. I was eating bites of them, obviously, as I was cooking, but the Cortland ones were really good. I liked them a lot.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's what I did with part of my time.
Every year I mean to join a CSA, and then every year I don't. And that has been the case for maybe like 15 years now.
It's a mixed bag for me because at the beginning there's way too many greens.
I like greens.
I like some greens, but I am definitely a cooked vegetable person, and most of the greens are meant to be like salad greens. And I know you can still cook those. Obviously, there was a time we had that weird cooked Caesar salad in Florida.
But you had that. I didn't.
Yes.
It was weird.
The leaves it was not cut. They were like full leaves. It was so weird. So I know you can cook greens that are not just like spinach and kale, but it's more work than I want to do sometimes.
That's fair.
And I don't like cold vegetables.
I like cold vegetables, but I prefer cooked vegetables, I think. It depends on the vegetable.
Fair. I will eat broccoli in whatever form it comes in. I love broccoli. Cold, hot.
Excellent. Broccoli is delicious.
Yeah. Steamed, sautéed, roasted.
Soupified.
Soupified, yes. Covered in cheese.
Delicious. Do you think that they make good broccoli at Saul's Diner?
That's a good question. I don't know.
They never mention it.
They don't.
We don't actually ever even see any food at that diner.
I really wanted to know what the blue plate special was.
Same. Also, I wanted to know what the children's platter was.
It's children.
So before we get... It's just made of children. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, should we say what this episode is that we're going to be talking about?
I suppose we better. It's Stargate SG1 Season 10, Episode 8, Memento Mori, which I didn't really get the title, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't really either. I mean, a lot of people did die, but...
True.
No major players.
No.
So I didn't really understand the reference either. And I was trying to figure it out while I was watching it, or like 3/4 through. I was like, why did they call it this? No idea.
But yeah.
This episode starts at a diner. It's just some random, I don't know, Midwesty type diner. I would assume it's actually probably Midwesty since we're generally in the Colorado area for this show.
Makes sense.
And it's kind of busy, I guess. There's a family there. A guy with his wife and two kids, and I only refer to the guy first because he was the only one that did the talking, which was weird.
Yeah.
And Vala is there, but she introduces herself as Val, and this is when we learn that the name of this place is Saul's Diner. She's going to be their waitress today and asks if they've looked over the menu. So she's working there in your stereotypical waitress dress and excessive amounts of blue eyeshadow, and she's drawn a mole on her face, which I thought was a weird choice. So this is when the father orders 2 junior meals.
Please, what does it always mean, this junior?
Which is, I'm only pointing out because I just thought that was very bizarre that they just have one option for a junior meal.
Yes.
Meanwhile, while this conversation is going on and they're putting in their orders, we see a couple of squirrely-looking guys outside. And then they bust in and are apparently robbing the place. I was wondering why, of all places to rob, you would be coming to a diner?
Yes, that was strange.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
Yeah, you could rob... I mean, I'm not suggesting these things, but I would think that a more lucrative place to rob would be a bank or maybe a nicer store, a high-end restaurant. A diner doesn't seem like the best place to get lots of money. Not enough to be worth potentially going to jail over anyway.
Yeah, especially because these guys did nothing to conceal themselves.
Nope, they did not. Yeah, that's also worth mentioning is there's no masks or anything.
There's a fucking cop in this diner.
There is. Also, this is like a small town where it seems like everyone knows each other. Do we think these guys are just passing through, or is it just like Bob and George from around the corner and they're just hoping everyone will forget or something?
Good questions.
In any case, it doesn't go well for them because we actually get to see some of Vala's hand-to-hand combat skills, which are pretty formidable. She's almost on par with Taylor, I would say, with her ass-kicking of these guys. She gets the gun from them and drops them both. And then, of course, everybody in the diner is just staring at her shocked, and she looks like she feels very awkward there.
Yes.
Being the center of attention. The guy that had been back in the kitchen comes and asks what she just did, and she says she does not know. And then it's credits.
Credits. What's going on? The world's topsy-turvy.
It is.
After credits, we're in a different restaurant. And we learn it is 3 weeks prior. So flashback time. Not really flashback. I mean, it is, but it's not a character's flashback.
Prequel?
Yeah. I don't know what we call that.
Jump back in time.
Yeah. This is a very different restaurant than the diner. It's fancy. There's white tablecloths.
Yep. A better kind of restaurant to rob than a diner where
Yes.
I'm not going to be bringing lots of money with me when I go to a diner. I've got no money in my pockets whatsoever. Not that I would necessarily have a ton of money at one of these places, but I'd be like maybe have nicer jewelry on or something, at least at a higher end restaurant if I'm going out for a nice night. Yeah.
Vala's here too, but she's not serving this time.
No.
She's there with Daniel. And he will insist, as we will see, this is not a date, but it's definitely a date. He just didn't realize he did that.
A date. Yeah, it's definitely a date. What are you thinking, Daniel?
Yeah. Daniel and Vala are seated. I don't think we get any food information in this restaurant either.
We don't. It's a disappointing lack of food episode for an episode that is so focused on eateries.
True. They did at this restaurant, before Daniel leaves, I did see that Vala's cocktail was on the table. It was pinkish. It didn't look Cosmo-y, but it did look a little pink. I don't know what it was. But anyway.
He ordered her a
he ordered
passion fruit
right.
martini or something.
You're right. I totally forgot that.
Which I was disgusted that he ordered for her instead of just letting her make her own choice.
That's true. How does he know she'll like that?
Right. Also ordering an alcoholic drink for her and then ordering a bottle of water for himself seemed a bit weird as well.
Yeah, Daniel, what are you doing?
You say it's not a date, but now you're acting like you might be planning to take advantage or something?
Oh, that's not a date then. That's just terrible.
It's not. I guess that's why he's saying it's not a date.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Daniel says they're there because she doesn't get off base much and he just wants to do something nice for her. Vala is very excited. She says she's been looking forward to this little date all week, and that's when they have their disagreement on whether or not this is a date. Vala's like, I've watched enough TV. I know. This looks like a date. Daniel is a little ruffled, like, clothing-wise. If he actually had realized he was on a date, I think he would have dressed nicer.
He had at least a jacket on.
Jacket and a shirt on.
Collared shirt, didn't he?
But they just were, like, disheveled.
I didn't look that closely.
Yeah. Anyway, Daniel insists this is just two friends out for dinner, co-workers.
Then why is it just the two of you, and why is it such a fancy restaurant?
No, why didn't he invite Teal'c, Mitchell, and Sam to go on this co-worker dinner?
Right. I have a coworker that I go out with frequently, just me and him, but we go to, I was going to say diners. We don't go to diners, but like we go to like a pub kind of place. We're not going to fancy restaurants. That would be doubly weird since we are both married to different people that are not each other.
Yes.
But we usually don't invite the rest of our department because we like each other better than all of the other people in our departments. But still.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other people are fine. We have invited them sometimes, and they just are losers and don't come with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go anyway.
Vala wants one of each of these featured drinks the waiter tells them about, and that's when Daniel just orders her the one. So I guess he at least cut it down to one, because she was like, I'll have all of them.
Yeah.
Daniel then launches into a speech, I guess. He tells Vala that she's been doing well, adjusting to her life there, and that she's learning to trust people, and it's great. She's not falling back in her old ways. He's acknowledging the strides she's made as a person and a team member. And also, this is a date.
It is a date. Because if it was as a team member, then he would have invited everyone else. And if it was just as friends, it wouldn't be this fancy.
Vala says she doesn't know what to say. Daniel tells her to say what she was going to say before he interrupted, because she did start to speak before he launched into this. And she was like, I'm just going to use the bathroom. So she's off.
I thought his speech was very weird because he was basically saying, I've come to take you to dinner to thank you for not being shitty and for making me look good inadvertently. It was basically what my takeaway was from his little speech.
Daniel's bad at dates.
Yeah, he was very bad at dates. Yes.
He was trying to say nice things.
He was trying, but it seemed condescending and insulting from my perspective.
Bad dates.
Like if someone said the same kind of thing to me, thank you for proving me right when I said we should take a chance on you. That just seems really shitty.
A little bit. Maybe that's why she's going to the bathroom, because she's like, I can't deal with this.
Right? I don't blame her for not ever coming back. Although, to be fair, it's not actually her fault that she doesn't come back, because as she gets around the corner, somebody comes up behind her, grabs her by the neck, and sticks a needle in her neck.
Uh-oh.
The waiter, who happens to be the same waiter from Vala and Daniel's table, happens to come across this guy and Vala as the guy that has just tried to kidnap Vala. Says he's taking her outside for a little air. Vala's not unconscious, but she's clearly very out of it. He looks a bit disturbed and goes back over to Daniel and tells Daniel that his companion has taken ill and there's some dude taking her outside. Maybe go check on that.
Daniel's like, yeah, I was the one who was going to get her drunk.
Yeah, I was the creepy one that wanted to take advantage. So he goes and rushes off outside. Before he manages to get there, though, we see the kidnapper and another person who comes up and helps him get Vala into a van. And they peel off as Daniel comes out. And there's a valet guy there just watching, not seeming disturbed that there's two guys picking this chick up and then peeling out of the driveway.
He's like, hey, not my job. They didn't ask me to get their car. It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
And all she's left behind is a flower from her hair.
That's right. Yes. Daniel picks it up from the ground and looks at it worriedly. Sometime later, somewhere, some kind of warehousey place that also apparently has a lab gurney thing.
Don't you keep your secret labs in your warehouses?
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
Secret lab.
We've been watching Warehouse 13 again, speaking of warehouses. I enjoy that show.
I have not seen that show.
Oh, it is good.
Okay.
You should watch it.
I did see there's a new Only Murders in the Building, though, so that might be my next destination.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then they're short episodes.
Fair.
Yeah. Short and enjoyable.
Nice.
Yeah. Vala is strapped to that gurney, and she is a little bit out of it when she wakes up. She's got a few bandages on her arm, and we learn that they have cut out her tracking chip, so no one's going to be able to find her. And as the person standing over her specifies, the guys in the car were not very careful about taking the tracking chip out either, so also shitty.
Indeed.
Vala seems to vaguely recognize this person and asks if she knows her, and yes, they knew each other a very long time ago. I guess I won't use her name yet because we don't find that out until way later, but Yeah. This person knew her when she was still Kitesh, and apparently they had some sort of an alliance going on all the way back then. Vala basically is like, well, I don't really look back on those times too fondly. I was mostly just an unwilling participant in all of that shit. So whatever Kitesh did that you seem to be mad about, sorry, not on me. But this person says it's not about revenge. It's about the answers that she needs. She is working with the Trust, of course, and they've given her some considerable resources. She found out that Vala was working with Stargate Command, and she has been watching Vala ever since, and finally got her chance to get to Vala tonight. There was a tablet that Kitesh had helped this person to locate a long time ago. She likens it to a treasure map, but then Kitesh decided to keep it all for herself and was supposedly never able to decipher whatever was on it.
That doesn't sound like a Goa'uld at all.
No. Definitely not.
Double-crossing, greediness. No.
Who would have expected? Yeah. Vala, once again, is like, yep, sorry, don't really remember stuff from back then. But this Goa'uld says that it's just a matter of those memories being suppressed. They're still in there, but her inferior human mind would go insane if she hadn't suppressed them. So, luckily, they have a device that's going to unsuppress those memories. And so, she leaves her cronies to remembrance Vala.
Yay.
Yay.
Then we're in the SGC. It's the same night that Vala disappeared because Daniel hasn't changed his clothes anyway, regardless of the time.
Hopefully it's still the same day or night.
They are searching the area for Vala, Landry reports, and they have not found anything yet. Daniel says, I know the Trust was behind it. They're the only ones with the resources to do this. Landry's like, yeah, I know. That's why I've called Agent Barrett, and his people are also working on it. He promises they're going to find her. Then we're back with Vala, who is being memory mined. Sure, I'll go with that.
Yep, sure.
It seems unpleasant. I don't remember it being as unpleasant, but she's also not a willing participant in this.
Right. I would guess that probably has at least something to do with it, but also I think it's a slightly different technology maybe than the one before.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I guess, you know what? Maybe it was painful, actually. Now, remembering, like, Sam and Jack with the things. Yeah.
The one with the forehead nubbin was a painful one. They do have a different memory device that is not painful like this one.
Right. But this one, not the best.
This is the forehead nubbin kind that is the painful one, yeah.
We get a flash of Kitesh's memory on a monitor. We've got death gliders. There's a throne. It's all very exciting. They turn off the device for a moment to check in on Vala. The guy doing the torturing, the redheaded guy, he was also in Atlantis. He was in that episode where they had the people who lived in the inside tower, and then they held all the poor people outside. He was that rich asshole brother guy / also Pendrell from the X-Files.
That's why he looked familiar. Okay.
Well done, Agent Pendrell. Keep up the good work.
Hey, thanks. Keep it up yourself.
Reusing some actors.
Indeed.
He asks Vala how she's feeling. Vala says she's a little dizzy, a little tired, and very, very angry. He says that is because they're dredging up emotions buried in the past that are coloring her conscious mind. I'm not sure. I think Vala definitely would want to kill them both in the most painful way possible after this. Even without Kitesh, maybe?
Yeah.
He tells her to relax and things will go a lot easier and faster. And then he dials it back up and starts torturing her again. / looking for memories.
And then we are in Daniel's office. Daniel has fallen asleep in his office at his desk. Mitchell comes in and wakes him up and tells him that Barrett's got some information. He's got a list of trust safe houses that they're going to check out. Hopefully Vala's in one of them. Fast forward to some time later, and we see a bunch of people outside of various warehouses. Landry's checking in with all of them. They're calling back that they're all in position. Multiple teams, multiple warehouses, and it's time to go in. Inside the lab with Vala, and I guess this guy's name is Weaver, they're still trying to get answers from her and not having a whole lot of luck with that. He shuts down the memory device and says something about there being a problem, and he thinks he knows what the problem is. And Vala says that the problem is that she can't strangle him. But he says, no, it's that you're fighting the process. And you're just delaying the inevitable, so just go with it, Vala. We get more scenes of the teams outside of the warehouses getting ready, and then Landry gives them all the order. And they all start to bust into the various warehouses that they are standing outside of. Inside of the warehouse with Vala, Weaver hears something over his instruments, and he turns it down. We see SG3 bust into a warehouse that is completely empty, and they all look very disappointed that...
It was SG1, the whole thing.
What?
Yeah. It was Mitchell, Teal'c, Daniel, and Sam.
That's 3/4. Vala's part of it.
That's 80% of SG1.
Is it? I guess it is. Okay.
There's 5 now.
I'm counting Vala as part of it. That's right. There are 5. So SG4 are disappointed.
Yes.
That there's nothing in there.
Boo.
But there is luck in a different one. Kind of. In that they find her. But then they all die in the process when there's a firefight that ensues. So that's bad. That goes on for a bit. Vala manages to get herself free of her restraints. The guy leading the team says that he's there to help and helps Vala get out of her restraints, but then he gets shot, so that's bad. Vala disconnects herself from the memory device and then makes a run for it, going straight through a glass door.
Yeah.
For that matter. And then runs away, and then the warehouse explodes somehow for some reason. I think they determined that they were set to self-destruct or something if people invaded, I think was their takeaway. Yeah.
Because otherwise what?
Yeah, exactly. That was my initial reaction was, why? Yeah, so exploding warehouse, Vala's on the run.
Yes. Back in the SGC, they're talking about what just happened. 4 of the 5 safe houses they tried were empty. The only one that had anything was the one where Vala was, and unfortunately, they lost the entirety of SG-15 and 3 other people who were part of a local team of, I guess.
That's terrible.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Stupid explosions. So,
right?
Yeah.
Stupid trust.
I know. She reports that one trust operative survived. And as you said, he confirmed that the explosion was their doing and it was rigged to blow, and that Vala had been there. Sam says they wouldn't have had time to move Vala out of there before the raid, so what happened to Vala? She also says the guy they caught says Vala made a run for it, so maybe she did get out and didn't go explode with the at least 7 other people who died in that explosion.
Yikes. At least it would be quick.
Yeah. And Teal'c wonders why, if she got out, she hasn't contacted us. And nobody knows.
Nope. And then it is sometime later, somewhere else, Vala is wandering around looking very disheveled and unhappy. And then she sees a diner, the diner from before, and she heads inside. Back in the SGC, it's time to interrogate the guy who survived, and it happens to be Weaver, who was the guy that was interrogating Vala before. So now the tables have turned.
Yeah.
Take that, asshole.
Well. How the turntables...
Daniel is there asking him what they wanted with her, exactly what was going on in that warehouse, but the guy doesn't really have a whole lot of information. In fact, he has no information. He just says that he can't tell them anything. It's not that he doesn't want to help. He's just not convinced that he'll be kept safe, even though Daniel promises that they would protect him. He doesn't believe that. So Daniel brings in the big guns in the form of Teal'c and his giant arms that are being shown off by his tank top. Daniel says he's all yours. And this guy tries to put on a brave face. He says that he's all familiar with Jaffa interrogation tactics. He knows all about them. It's not going to work. Teal'c just leans down and whispers into his ear, and the guy looks horrified. And a few minutes later, Teal'c comes out in the hall just as Sam, Daniel, and Mitchell say, well, this will probably take a while. Let's go have some food. But nope. Teal'c says he was surprisingly forthcoming. Kathy, what do you think he whispered in this guy's ear?
I don't know. I thought it was really funny. I thought we were going to get another scene of somebody just spilling the beans because Teal'c is staring at them, but this was
that was hilarious also. Yes.
But yeah.
I was trying to see if I could get closed captions for it, but I was not able to. It was completely inaudible, and you could only kind of see him from the side, so lip reading wasn't really that possible either.
I was trying to think what is so, I mean, he's probably heard all kinds of threats because he works for Goa'uld. So, like, what could Teal'c be saying that's that scary?
Removing body parts one at a time?
Maybe.
Murdering 500 puppies in front of him? Teal'c wouldn't do that, but this guy doesn't know that he wouldn't do that. Yeah. That was the only two things I could come up with.
Give him to the Ori.
Oh, that would be bad too.
I don't so many options.
Indeed. Cast him into a volcano, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the Ori, but might because the Ori love fire.
That's true. They do love fire.
Yeah.
Then we're back at the diner. Vala has finished her meal.
Again, I wanted to know what it was, but
I don't know. But she finished the whole thing, I think.
Yep. Which is why we didn't get to find out what it was. It was all gone.
The server puts a check on the table and leaves Vala there. Vala looks around at the diner. She does see there's a police officer there. She sees a bunch of other people, but she gets up anyway and tries to casually walk to this exit. But she is stopped by Sal, the owner of Saul's Diner.
The same guy from the kitchen in the first scene.
Sal, the owner of Saul's Diner.
Yes.
And the cook. He asks how her lunch was, and she says delicious. And he asks delicious enough to pay for? And she says, well, if I had the money, I would pay for it and give the lovely waitress a sizable gratuity. She tells him the service was impeccable. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's nice, but everyone's got problems. I've got bills to pay. Kids, a wife, a mortgage, a Shih Tzu with GI conditions.
Poor puppy.
I know. She apologizes for trying to cheat him, but he's like, are you going to come back with the money if I let you leave? And she's like, no. Which points for honesty.
I appreciated her honesty. Yeah.
He's like, you can't be trusted. And she said, I don't know. I don't know who I am. I can't remember anything. I don't know what I'm capable of. The only thing I know is that I was hungry. Your diner smelled great. I really wanted that blue plate special. And here I am. She has no memory of anything before walking into this diner.
I have no memory of this place.
So he's like, we should get you to a hospital. But when he puts his hand on Vala's arm, she has a flash of being strapped down by the terrible people who were mining her memory. The trust, there we go.
Yes.
And she says no hospitals. The cop who was eating in the diner comes over to check in. Everything's fine though, Sal says. Vala tries to get out of there. She's like, let me go. He's like, where are you going to go? He's like, maybe I can help you. And that's where we leave it.
It is. And then we are in Daniel's office again. Mitchell is there and wants to know how things are going. Daniel is poring over a whole bunch of books. Apparently he's gotten a bunch of information from both the Jaffa and the Tok'ra about various people that could potentially be associated with the Trust still. Various hagfish people that specifically could be hagfish. Gold. There we go. I don't know why my brain completely forgot that word for a second after over 5 years of this podcast.
We haven't had to use it in a while. While you were doing that, I was like,
this is true.
Where the hell's the Tok'ra been? What are they doing about the Ori? Anyway.
Right? Yeah, seriously. That's a good question, but we don't get to find that out. So he's got some books here. And this is when Daniel tells us that the person that had Vala kidnapped, currently going by the name Charlotte Mayfield, who I think we have actually seen before working with
Ball.
With Ball, yeah? Okay. This is Athena. And yes, she is working with Ball currently, but she's also had alliances with various other people. She basically seems to be a very opportunistic in who she forms alliances with. And so she did have that alliance with Katesh at one point, along with a number of other different people. Daniel did figure out about how Kitesh double-crossed her in the past when they were searching for that tablet, which was, of course, the key to infinite treasure. We never actually find out what that was, though.
Of course. The key...
Is that going to come back, do you think?
I don't know.
Or are we too busy looking for the weapon?
I would hope we're too busy looking for the weapon to look for infinite treasure when we're about to be wiped out from the galaxy, but you never know where SG1's priorities will be from week to week.
This is very true. Yep. This is
Sometimes
very true.
you're taking your coworkers out on dates you didn't know was a date.
Right, because you're... Anyway, it's a vast warehouse. I wonder if it could have the weapon in it. It was hidden away by the ancients. But Daniel says that the tablet seems to have actually not been anything more than an elaborate hoax. So nobody found anything. But for some reason, Kitesh tried to make Athena think she had found stuff, and Athena fell for it. So she used Baal's resources to get her here to Earth and to try to track down Vala to get access to those riches. This is Daniel's conclusion from all of his reading and research. Some very detailed notes that were in those various books.
Indeed.
So they've been asking around in hospitals to figure out if Vala might be in any of those. She could have been injured and not able to contact them, especially given that she may have been in a building that had exploded. But Mitchell says he talked to the examiner's office and they're doing DNA testing, so maybe don't get your hopes up too much. But Daniel is not going to give up on Vala. He's going to continue to be optimistic that she is out there somewhere and that they're going to find her.
Jeez, Daniel, just wear a t-shirt that says, I love Vala.
Right? Seriously. Trying to pretend he's not in love with her when he really is. And not doing a good job of hiding.
No. Then we're with Athena, who was also Charlotte, whatever. Charlotte Mayfield. Okay.
Mayfield?
Yes, it doesn't matter. But anyway.
They like to use the first syllable of May for bad
Mayfield, guys. Mayborn.
Yep.
Mayflower. I don't know. If they need another one, I'm just going to throw that out there as a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Anyway, Athena/Mayfield is in an office in a city talking on the phone, doing business. And I thought the Gould would make great business people. They'd make great, terrible billionaires.
They would.
Yep.
The billionaire class, the people on top are doing phenomenally well.
Maybe all the billionaires are Gould.
I think that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
So she's businessing hard, making all the money probably. Someone comes in to report that the DNA results are in for them too. They ID'd 12 victims in the explosion, but none of them were Vala's DNA. He thinks there wasn't enough left of her, but she's like,
yikes.
Or maybe she got out, because why else is the SGC still looking for her? She says, until we have confirmation that she is dead, keep looking for her too. I'm gonna go make some more money.
Vala is also trying to make some money in her waitress cosplay here. So that is what Sal had in mind for her to help her out. Do we think that they fired the other waitress in order to give Vala this job? Because we don't see her here. It's
true.
just Vala and Sal.
Is a turban a bun?
I would guess. I don't know. Vala tells Sal that she needs a dead cow on a turban, hold the yellow extra spud mush. I would think that that would be a burger on a bun without mustard, but do you need to specify that it would be on a burger?
Yeah.
Maybe a dead cow without a turban would be a steak.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You got all that, honey?
3 liquors wearing pants, plate of hot air, basket of grandma's breakfast, and change the bowl to a gill. Got it.
I don't know. It's weird. And when I waited tables, never used an ordering system like this. But the guy is impressed. Sal says that it sounds like she's been practicing. All of a sudden, she gets a whole bunch of flashbacks about her time as Kitesh yet again, and she looks a bit dizzy. Sal asks if she's okay. She says she's fine. He asks if it's the visions again, so apparently she's gotten close enough to him to feel comfortable confiding in him at least a little bit.
I mean, he seemed like a good dude. He was willing to give her a job when she couldn't pay her bill and had nowhere to go.
Yeah. He again tries to convince her that she should go to a doctor to get this checked out, but Vala is not going to do that. But then she asks what it is exactly that she's doing here. She's working here. She's sleeping out the back, which I was wondering, does that mean she's sleeping in an alley or is there a back room?
I assumed she wasn't sleeping outside only because this guy seems like he would find her a place to sleep, but I don't know for sure.
She did say she was watching the X-Files while in her spare time. But
that is a good use of her time.
Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, sleeping out the back, a bit vague what that means. She appreciates everything that Sal's done for her, but she's thinking of leaving because she just doesn't feel like this is where she needs to be or where she belongs. It just doesn't feel right. But Sal tells her that running away is not going to make anything feel any better, and there's got to be some friends who care about you somewhere, so just hang out here until you figure things out. Just give it a bit more time. So Vala agrees. She's chewing gum this whole time, and that would not fly at a restaurant. I mean, I know that that's part of the cliche of being a diner waitress, but
right.
Gross. I would be grossed out if I had a waitress that was chewing gum while she was bringing me my food and spitting all over it with an open-mouthed gum chewing, which is the biggest issue here.
That's nasty.
So then she goes off to greet a family, and it is once again time for them to get robbed. Or not really once again, but we are back to the beginning scene where they got robbed and Vala's about to give everyone a butt kicking. We don't actually see the butt kicking this time, but we flash ahead again to Sal asking Vala what she did, and Vala saying she does not know.
And then we are at the police station because there was a robbery and Vala subdued the robbers. So the police want to talk to her. It is in fact the same cop who's been hanging out in the diner. He asks her name and she's like, "You know my name. You're a regular." And so he asks, "Is Val short for Valerie?" And she says, "Of course it is. Yeah, that's my name." He asks for a last name and she says, "To Dad." She looks up at the wall and there's a picture of a drawing that a child did that just says "To Dad" on it. But she's like, "Yeah, Valerie To Dad." Yeah. But this cop isn't a total moron, so he realizes
thankfully
this is a fake name she's just made up based on the picture of presumably his own child's drawings behind him.
Brick, are you just looking at things in the office and saying that you love them?
He says, "Why don't you want me to know your real name? Is there a reason for that?" And she says, "No, she's just very private. And maybe I could freshen up in the bathroom?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, sure." So she heads off to the bathroom, clearly looking to get away. Unfortunately, the bathroom's a no-go. The window's locked up tight. So she sneaks out of there and tries to sneak out an exit. But he's standing on the other side of the door waiting for her because...
I was going to be really annoyed if she managed to sneak her way out of the police department.
Yeah, this guy's not dumb, which is great.
Right. If he was that dumb or if this police department was that inept that they had an open window in their bathroom, I was going to just be really annoyed.
She tries to cover. She's like, "I was just going to go get us some lunch. Didn't know how long we were going to take." Ha ha. The police officer has done up a little flyer with Vala's picture and tells someone to run it through the channels. Vala promises she did not do anything illegal. She didn't hurt anyone, except for the two guys.
I would assume she was working there illegally, though.
Yeah.
Does she have... if she doesn't have an ID, then technically she and Sal were both doing something illegal.
True. She's like, "I just heard those two robbers, and I was cool with doing that. That's okay, right? Because they were robbing people.
They were bad guys."
He wants to know how she took them down without even breaking a sweat. And she says, "By instinct." And he says, "Training. So why don't you tell me about your training?" She doesn't say anything because obviously we know she doesn't know anything, but to him, she's just being uncooperative. So it's a fruitless situation for him.
Yes. Back in Landry's office, Walter has seen the Jane Doe notice that they just sent out from the police station because, as always, Walter is on top of everything.
He really is.
Yeah. So he shows that to Landry, and now they've got a lead, but we don't get to find out what they're going to do with that because then we are back over with Athena, who is continuing to business, talking about some stocks and Behringer Consolidated and blah, blah, blah business.
Business. Numbers.
Then she is also shown the Jane Doe notice for Vala. So she's going to have to call Nathan back, whoever the hell that is.
Putting business on hold. What kind of business lady is this business?
Right? Not a good one, apparently. Back in the police station, Ryan, I don't know if we'd said his name before, but that's the name of the cop guy, says that they got a call and Vala has been recognized. It has been a Colonel Carter from the Air Force calling in, and she's going to be there to pick Vala up any minute now. Vala says no. Ryan is confused by that, but Vala would rather stay here. She will commit a crime if they need her to in order to stay here, but she does not feel okay with this situation. She clearly has at least some vague recollection, even if it's not specific, that she is in danger of being found by the wrong people, although she doesn't actually tell him that. So he says that he doesn't pretend to know what her whole deal is, but they mentioned national security when he was on the phone, so there's nothing he can do about that. So Vala just decided to tell him the entire truth about the lost memory and her flashbacks, and she doesn't know anything other than that she doesn't really want to go with these people. She just has a bad feeling about it. Ryan accuses her of not being honest because, of course, it does sound completely implausible. Right. And then there's some Air Force people here claiming to be Colonel Carter. But this is not Colonel Carter. This is fake Colonel Carter, also known as Farter.
Yes.
As you have put as your username today, but that I didn't mention before because I didn't want to give it away. But yes, Farter, I think, is the best portmanteau for a fake or alternate Carter. And I'm surprised we never came up with it before.
I'm trying to remember if we ever did, and I don't think
we did. And I'm not sure how we missed that.
I mean, I guess we weren't trying to call her farts, but
but in the end, it all boils down to fart jokes.
True.
Though, so, yeah. But yes, this is definitely not Sam. Obviously, Vala doesn't know that, nor does Ryan. She seems to have an official-looking ID, and even knows Vala's last name and calls her Ms. Maldoran, and says the government's been looking for her for a long time. And then they take her into custody in handcuffs. So that seems bad, and they appreciate Ryan's cooperation in the matter. Vala is crying. Ryan seems very untrusting of the whole situation.
Yeah.
He does seem like he actually is finding Vala plausible when she is basically saying she doesn't know why she's being arrested. Don't let them take her. She didn't do anything. But there's nothing he can do, so he watches as they put her into a car outside, and then a couple minutes later, the actual Sam is there. Dressed in civvies, so she is not dressed all in official Air Force gear like the other people were. And in fact, she's also not alone because she's got Mitchell and Teal'c with her.
Yay.
She says that they're there for the Jane Doe. And Ryan is very confused and says another Colonel Carter just came and picked her up about a minute or so ago. So that's bad. He saw them head for the freeway, so that is where the team is going to go.
Yep. So they rush out of the police station. Their car is blocked by another car. So Mitchell commandeers a motorcycle.
Yeah, cop style. Yeah. Do military personnel actually carry around police-style looking badges or FBI-looking ID cards like these? Like the type that Mulder and Scully were always flashing?
No way.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because Sam did it, and then Mitchell also did it when he commandeered this motorcycle. But also, as a member of the military, I don't think that just makes it okay for you to commandeer someone's motorcycle.
And then just pop a wheelie as you're speeding off. Is that a thing that happens, or did he do that on purpose? Like, I don't know anything about wheelies.
It is a thing that happens. I've seen people doing them on the highway very stupidly.
Because, like, was this a necessary thing for him to do as he sped off?
No. It is definitely not a necessary thing to do. It is just a trick that people do to impress people or because they're fun. And yeah, I did see somebody just doing a wheelie down the highway for an extended period of time. Yeesh. And I was like, that is just an accident waiting to happen.
I do see children on bicycles doing that in the middle of the street often.
That is less concerning than somebody on a motorcycle doing this at like 80 miles an hour on the highway.
True, except they are doing it in active traffic. Sometimes in gangs of bicyclists. Anyway.
Yeah, well, that is also problematic then.
But yes, it is. They're going to get less liquefied if they crash. I don't know. Anyway.
Yes. They will just be partially
Yeah.
liquefied if they are
Yeah.
run over, I guess, which will hopefully not happen.
Then we see Mitchell's chasing a car down the street. In the car, Vala is like, why won't you tell me where we're going? As she's surrounded by Farter and friends. They don't answer, but Vala lets, I guess, her instinct and or training take over again and hits some folks and grabs the driver. And
Not the best idea.
yeah, it's not great. Because it then leads them to flip and crash.
Yes.
Which does allow Mitchell to catch up.
It does. That is true, I suppose.
So, good job.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody died. She didn't.
Yet. I mean, ultimately, several people do.
True.
In,
right.
I think the ensuing firefight.
Sorry, you're right.
But, yeah.
Vala comes out of the car and Mitchell asks if she's all right, and she has no idea who he is. He tries to assure her, but that's not going to work. But it doesn't matter because they have other things to deal with. As you said, it's time for other people to die.
Yep.
So Mitchell shoots a guy who shoots him at the same time. Mitchell catches a bullet in the arm.
'Tis but a scratch.
Which allows Vala to grab his gun. Another guy drives up in a car to check out the situation because he's trying to make sure everything's okay.
Being a good Samaritan.
Being a good Samaritan. Yes, thank you. What does that get him? It gets him Vala stealing the keys. She tells him to throw the keys to her and then run away while she's holding a gun on him. So, sucks to be you, man. You need a new car.
That's what you get for being nice.
Yep.
You don't need a new car just because someone took your keys. There are saying things as locksmiths.
As soon as someone takes my keys, I get a new car. Even if I just give them to someone for a little while. I'm like,
weird.
It's time for a new car.
A new key is like $60, maybe, depending on the type of key. If I'm talking like the new key fob.
Seems
type.
easier to just get another car.
Okay.
Says the person who just got her first new car in 20 years. I know a lot about buying cars, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
You just get a new one.
Yeah.
Before Vala takes off, though, Mitchell yells to her and calls her by her name. So she's like, should probably take this guy with me. So she does. They get in the car and drive off. She makes Mitchell drive, even though he's bleeding.
I've had worse.
Yeah. He's been shot in the arm. So it seems pretty shitty to make him drive. Granted, I'm guessing that she doesn't know how to drive, not being from this planet.
That's a good question, yeah.
Still pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Then they're in a motel room, and Mitchell is on the bed sleeping. For whatever reason, he's only in his underwear, which I was wondering why Vala took all his clothes off.
I don't know. Okay, maybe the shirt, but the pants.
Yeah, that made no sense. It made no sense. He wakes up and is looking around. She asks what he's doing. He says he's checking to see if he's still got both of his kidneys and asks her what the hell's going on here. It seemed very weird to me that he was only just asking her that now that they are in the hotel room and was not asking her this while he was driving her.
Yeah.
He never once thought to ask what was happening.
Good point.
It just seemed very strange. I guess they were just driving in silence the whole time. For reasons. So anyway, she seems surprised that he knows her, which again, like, how are you only just now that you're in the hotel room together realizing he knows you? It made no sense. Mitchell also is only just figuring out that she doesn't remember anything.
What did he think was happening?
I don't know. Like, she had a gun on you and was making you drive. Come on. It was so weird to me. Vala does tell him she doesn't remember much of anything, least of all who she is, and so that's why she brought him here. No, he brought you there. He drove you there, and you're only just now discussing this. So she wants some answers, and it seems like she might torture him in order to get them, because she has tied this sheet around his shot up arm very quickly, and I was getting the impression that she was going to basically twist that around his injured arm until she got the answers she wanted. I might just be reading into it more than was intended, but that was my impression, because when she was saying she was going to get her answers, she said it menacingly as she was tying up this bandage thing.
Interesting. I didn't get that, but I could see it.
Yeah, fair. Mitchell says that maybe call the rest of the team because they are better at answers.
True.
But when Vala doesn't seem so convinced about that, he tells her kind of everything he knows, that she's Vala Maldoran. He tells her briefly about Stargate Command and that they do off-world exploration and reconnaissance. Vala looks at his dog tags while he's talking about this, and she does not believe him when Mitchell asks how he's doing. She says he is not doing well. Mitchell says he knows it sounds crazy, but it is all true. We are all explorers. And you are actually an alien, which, again, Vala does not believe at all. But he means it in the nicest way possible. She's actually human, just from a different planet. So, technically an alien, but still actually human. So Vala just goes and steals money from his wallet. I guess she's lost interest with this conversation.
Boring conversation anyway.
Mitchell continues on that she's even more human than many people that he knows, like his neighbors, especially the guy in 304. And I want to know what the deal is with the guy in 304 now, but we never get more information
it's Marty.
About that, and I was sad.
No.
Yes.
Marty's taking an apartment in Colorado Springs with Mitchell.
Excellent. Excellent. I like it. Yes. I will go with that. Vala says she's going to be back. She doesn't tell Mitchell when she's going or how long. It just won't be all that long. And Mitchell's got to stay here handcuffed. Hopefully she has a key, and hopefully he doesn't have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I was concerned about his needing to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
That would suck, being handcuffed.
Yes.
And needing to pee.
Indeed.
Yeah. Then we're back in the police station where SG 3/5 is there. 60%.
Yes.
They're talking to the police officer. Brian has just talked to somebody who's of no help and remembers nothing. All he remembers is the gun, so probably the guy who Vala stole the car from. He says they are looking for the missing vehicle, and meanwhile, dead people in the sedan were all carrying fake IDs. Who would have thought? Farter was a fraud.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
What?
License plate was fake too?
What?
No, and a company the car was registered to reported the car missing that morning. This is all so shocking.
Who would have seen that
Nobody.
coming?
Sam gets a phone call. It's good news. They got a lock on Mitchell's transmitter because no one was there to rip it out of his arm. I guess good thing he didn't get shot in the transmitter.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that too, because the bullet wound on his arm is pretty much in the same spot as the Band-Aid when Vala had her transmitter ripped out.
Good job not having a broken transmitter, Mitchell. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. Back in the hotel room, Vala comes in. She apparently did not go too far after all and had only just taken some money to get them food. Mitchell thinks he's figured out why she doesn't remember anything, and Vala asks if it involves alien abduction, which Mitchell says, well, technically, yes, because you are, in fact, an alien and you were abducted. But that is not what I meant. They must have given you some kind of a procedure to dig up some memories, and in the process somehow managed to make that worse and destroyed whatever memories they were actually trying to dig up, as well as a whole bunch of other memories. And then that device was destroyed, and you were able to escape at some point in all of the chaos of when they broke into the building. Vala says that Vala is not a particularly alien name because she's still not buying this whole story. But Mitchell just keeps talking about the fact that he thinks that the device was in the middle of digging up some suppressed memories and just basically overloaded her brain in the process. Vala thinks that disodium guanylate, which is apparently an ingredient on whatever it is that she's eating, would have been a better name. Some kind of weird waffle
Yeah.
thing? Yeah. Prepackaged waffle? It was weird.
I'm glad the only food we get to see is the junk food.
Yeah. Mitchell doesn't know why she's having such a hard time believing him, and I didn't know why he found it so unbelievable that she wouldn't believe this story. But he says that she can't deny that there's some very bad people after her because that is something that she does actually remember, but she thinks that Mitchell could be one of them. She has no proof, and he has no proof either, for that matter, that he is not one of them. But Mitchell says that he saved her from them, but she doesn't really know that. Maybe they were trying to save her from him. So he's still got nothing to sway her at this point. Mitchell wants to take her back to the Stargate Command to get her a different memory device to help her remember better and also maybe get some treatment. But of course, Vala is definitely not going to go along with that plan.
She shoves a Twinkie in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's a big Twinkie.
Delicious.
I haven't had a Twinkie in a very long time. Then we are with trust people who are driving. There's two of them. One of them gets off the phone to tell the other they intercepted a communication from Stargate Command and they found him, presumably Mitchell. So they're gonna try to head back toward Mitchell. Then we're back at the motel room where Teal'c, Daniel, and Sam have arrived. They bust in to find Mitchell without clothes, handcuffed to the bed, watching TV, eating snacks.
Yep, it was pretty hilarious.
He says it isn't what it looks like. And he pulls up the covers over himself as they stare at him. It was very goofy.
It really was. It was very entertaining.
Meanwhile, Vala is wandering around in the streets, trying to stay hidden from people. Back in the hotel room, they've gotten Mitchell out of his handcuffs and let him get dressed. At least she didn't take his clothes.
Yeah, that's good.
Sam's looking at him and he's like, what? And she says she thinks it's funny how he's always losing his pants. He says, not always. It's happened twice.
So you managed to get your shirt off.
That is more times than I've lost my pants at work.
Yeah. I have never lost my pants at work. I am proud to say.
Yes.
When I die, engrave that on my tombstone.
Absolutely. Here lies Kathy. Never lost her pants at work.
Daniel, who was on the phone, hangs up and lets them know they've got something on Vala. So they're going to go do something. How did they end up in another warehouse?
I don't know. I was wondering that too. And when I watched the episode, I thought I had missed something.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why pick here? Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me not paying close enough attention as I was watching it, because yes, I was also confused because we are, in fact, in a warehouse now. Daniel is calling for Vala, saying that it's me. We know you're in here. And they see somebody moving around. Daniel keeps calling out to Vala, saying that he knows that she's scared. They're not going to hurt her. But then we see a gunman and there is another firefight because, of course, the bad guys have gotten here as well. They continue to fire at each other. Meanwhile, Vala is trying to hide as best she can and avoid getting shot by either bullets or Zat guns in the crossfire here. She manages to get a handgun. She pulled it from the back of her pants, but I'm assuming she got it from maybe one of the people that abducted her.
Mitchell?
Or
didn't she have her gun? The gun?
Did she take Mitchell's?
But she had a gun like that she took when they were in the crash, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, that's where she got this one from. Right. So as everyone is continuing to fire at each other, Vala tries to make a run for it, but Daniel sees her and steps right in front of her. He's got a Zat, she's got her gun. Vala tells him to get out of the way, or she's going to shoot him. Daniel puts his Zat down and tells her that she doesn't remember who she is, but he does, and he knows she's not going to shoot him. Of course, the firefight is continuing to go on in the background around them. And Daniel is continuing to try to talk Vala down, and he knows that she is going to just try to make herself disappear and that he might never see her again if she gets out of here, because that is what she does. She's been running for so long, but you chose to stop. You made that decision, and now it's just time to come home. And we do see Vala once again having a flashback, but instead of flashbacks of being Katesh, it is flashbacks of being herself, Vala, in the SGC with Landry and the rest of the team around her. She's still holding her gun on Daniel, but she's crying and is clearly having some recollections of what is going on. And then says Daniel's name, and she lowers the gun and hands it to him. And then they hug.
This one hit me in the feels hard, guys.
I know, it did me too. I was surprised.
I was like, it's just a flashback of them like sitting in the SGC. And I'm like, oh.
I know. It was silly. I was like, oh, why am I feeling verklempt? This is silly.
I do also want to say there was maybe my favorite thing in this whole episode is Mitchell shooting a metal beam and watching the Zat wave travel down and hit the guys who were at the other end of the metal beam. It was freaking cool.
It was, yes. I know, I kind of skipped over much of the firefight. There was also a guy that was zatted off of the top of like some kind of big shipping container that fell off onto a pile of pallets, and it just looked very horribly painful.
Yes. Yeah. So some cool stuff happening while all of this emotional stuff was also happening.
Exactly.
And then we're all in the SGC.
Yay.
The team is with Landry. Mitchell says he doesn't mind getting shot, but he pulled a hammy when he took out the last trust operative. And, that does really suck. Sam says, at least you didn't lose your pants. Love Sam.
Sam's great. Pretty much her only words in this episode.
That's true.
Were the one where she's saying that who she is and then also talking about Mitchell's pants.
Farter's not that funny. Also,
No,
she's dead.
She's not. Farter sucks. Bet she's not even a PhD. Or
Probably
wasn't.
Probably not. God.
Probably not even a real colonel.
Probably not.
Safe bet.
Vala comes into the room because Landry wanted to see her. She reports that Lamb has cleared her for active duty, and Landry pulls out a box and gives it to her. And he's like, it's a welcome back present. And she opens it, and it's official SG1 and SGC patches for her because she is part of the team officially.
Officially, even though she's already been part of the team for quite a while now. Realistically.
But now also in name as well as deed.
Indeed. Yes.
So, yay!
Yay!
Teal'c says maybe we do a celebration. He didn't say it that way because that's not how Teal'c talks.
That would be very weird if all of a sudden he did.
Very strange. He meant perhaps a celebration is in order. Mitchell's like, great idea. Let's check out the new rib joint, a totally appropriate place to bring your coworkers for a coworker dinner.
Yes, that would be a type of friend dinner place, not a fine dining establishment.
And Vala's like, great, and says to Daniel, well, we do need to wait until next week to complete our date. And Daniel's like, it's not a date. It was a date, Daniel.
It was a date.
Nobody believes him.
Nope.
He even tries to appeal to Landry. Not a date.
Yep. I like Landry's expression. It was very funny. I don't really know how to describe it, but it was great.
I mean, it was probably like 50%. I don't care, but...
Yeah. But it was also like he raised his eyebrows and kind of like half shrugged and raised his hands like, what the hell are you doing?
So Vala's part of the team now. Officially.
Yep. Officially.
Yeah.
End of episode. Did you like the episode?
I did like this episode. As far as Vala episode goes, it's freaking stellar. She's so not annoying at all. I really like we welcome you into the fold fully sort of situation. So that really, as we said, hit you in the feels. Some of it was a little silly, like why did they end up in a warehouse again? Or there was something else and now I can't remember. But some of it was kind of like just contrived.
The whole conversation that they had at the hotel that they should have had in the car.
Yeah. Just kind of like, why is this happening now?
Yeah.
This whole situation exists just to do this Vala episode. Oh, look, we made up a fake infinite treasure key. Yay! But it's fake. So, the date, not a date stuff was very funny, I thought. Very silly. So I found it entertaining and interesting throughout. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to the team, Vala. How about you?
I did enjoy this one. I think it is the best Vala episode that we've had so far. And she was at her most likable and most sympathetic in this particular episode.
Yeah.
I don't like scenes at restaurants where you're watching the people waiting tables because they stress me out still. From my many years of waiting tables, but it was fine. It wasn't a huge focus on the episode, and obviously not like a high stakes portrayal of somebody freaking out when they're working at a restaurant. It's fine. Yeah. But as I've mentioned before, I can't play like those diner dash type games. They stress me out way too much.
That's totally reasonable. I don't have that server background, and I still get stressed out by those games. So yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a good episode overall. There were a lot of entertaining bits that were intentionally entertaining, and then lots of things that were not intentionally entertaining that I found very bizarre and amusing anyway.
Yeah, so good episode.
Yeah.
And we agree.
We do. It's been a while, I think, that we have both liked an episode. There have been many episodes that we have both not liked, but it's been a while since there's been one that we have both enjoyed.
Especially, well, besides 200, but it's hard to count that one because it's clearly like a special episode.
Kind of, Right, exactly.
Yeah. So what are we going to watch next?
Next is, I actually do like this episode. I remember this one. This is Stargate Atlantis, Season 3, Episode 8, McKay and Mrs. Miller. Rodney is reunited with his estranged sister back on Earth, who has given up a brilliant career as a scientist to raise a family. Meanwhile, at IMDb, Rodney's sister is brought to Atlantis to make use of one of her theories. Very specific. And by very specific, I mean about as vague as you could possibly get. Weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I enjoyed this episode a lot the first time. So
Yes.
And we haven't had a Rodney look at me episode in a while, so this will be a Rodney focused episode.
Always like a Rodney focused episode. Yeah. I find him to be increasingly enjoyable as the series progresses, as I've said before. So,
woo.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Thank you so much for listening to Stargatesing with Kathy and Mary. Our fully listener-supported program couldn't be done without you. Show your support by telling everyone you know how awesome this show is. Find us at stargatesing.space. Reach us by email, stargatesing@gmail.com. Find us on social media at Blue Sky. Get some merch, tinyurl/stargatesing. And finally, show your financial support at patreon.com/stargatesing. Thank you for traveling through the gate with us. Catch you next time on Stargatesing with Kathy and Mary.
I'm Mary.
I'm Kathy.
I almost forgot what's next. And you've been listening to Stargatesing, the end.
The end. Oh, that wasn't as long as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, it was not.